this hip opening tutorial by Nicole Fraser Yoga and Wellness. So today I'm going to show you 3 yoga asanas or poses that are simple yet very effective for hip opening and keeping flexibility in our hips. Now, if you've got any pre-existing health conditions, please visit a doctor before trying any of this at home. And for everybody else, just ease into it, take it slow, and have fun. So before we get into this, I do want to first explain the importance of why it is so important to keep our hips flexible and to do these hip opening exercises. So many of you have heard before or heard me say that we carry a lot of emotion in our hips. Now, there is actually a science behind this. In our hips, there is a muscle called the psoas muscle. It's the only muscle that connects the spine to the legs. It runs from the spine through the hips. And for many of us, this muscle does become very tense. And the reason why is because the psoas muscle is connected to our sympathetic nervous system, or our flight or fight response. And in our crazy, hectic lives that we lead from day to day, we're rushing places, we're stressed, we're this, we're that, our flight or fight response is constantly being engaged in our bodies. And because it is directly linked, this muscle is always chronically being triggered and chronically becoming tense, because it's always ready for us to literally run away or to fight. So we have to figure out a way to counteract that, because our lives get crazy and sometimes we just can't help that. So that's the importance of this. So when our psoas becomes very tense, this can cause a lot of different health problems. So that's why I'm here today, to show you these 3 different poses to help get back that flexibility and regain that strength in our lives, our stability that we carry in our hips. So let's get started. I'll show you the first one. It's Baddha Konasana, or bound angle pose. So we bring the palms of our feet together. We gently let our knees fall to the sides. We can grab onto our feet, maybe interlacing the fingers. From here, we want to sit up nice and tall. Even feel free to close the eyes. Take a few deep breaths. Be sure that your spine is lengthening, your chest is lifting. You can exhale, start to lean into the pose. And feel a nice deep stretch in the hips. When you're ready, inhale, come back up. I'll show you from the side. So a modification as well. If you have very tight hips, feel free to use a blanket. Place it underneath your sit bones. Start with your legs straight out. See if that's comfortable for you. Take the palms of the feet together. Sitting up tall. Interlace the fingers. Inhale. And exhale, relax over. Inhale, come back up. When you're ready, you can hold this pose for several minutes if you like, or a few seconds, anything to start to get those hips loosened up. Now, the second pose that we're going to be doing is Balasana, or child's pose. So this one, we take our big toes are together underneath of us. We're sitting on top of our heels. We have a nice straight spine. The belly's sucking in. Our knees are apart. They're lining the edges of the mat. So we'll inhale. And exhale, slowly start to walk forward, letting the chest draw towards the earth and our forehead slowly reaching the mat. When we're ready, we'll inhale, come back up. And you really want to feel the pelvis and the hips sinking in towards the ground, as well as the chest too, to get this gentle hip opening exercise. And the last pose that I'm going to show you is a half pigeon pose. So we want to start in something simple like table. Feet are flat, wrists are stacked underneath of our shoulders. The spine is neutral or nice and flat. We can inhale and take our right foot up. Exhale, draw the knee in towards the chest. Let our shin meet the mat, straightening out our left leg, letting the hips sink towards the mat. We want our hips to be square to the front of the mat. Now, if you have really tight hips, you can use a block. I'll show you from this side. And place the block underneath your hip to hold yourself up. My favorite way to do this pose, I call it sleeping pigeon. We exhale, lowering down, relaxing, and opening up the hips this way. When you're ready to come out of the pose, inhale up, gently push yourself up and over to the right to come out of the pose. And then we come back to the left side, back to our table, left leg up, knee forward, shin meets the mat, right leg extends this time. Again, when you're ready, inhale up, lift over to the left, gently releasing. Because we're working with our emotions and tension and hips, we always want to be very gentle when we are releasing out of any of these poses, and also very gently easing into them as well. So I hope that this was helpful for you. And if you have any questions about anything, you can always feel free to let me know. And stay tuned for the next Nicole Fraser Yoga and Wellness tutorial next week. Bye, everybody.